Comedians are a dime a dozen these days. If you don't believe me, check out Netflix for a list. No, this isn't a knock, but merely the truth. I think a lot of this comes from the fact that those comedians grew from inspiration. The 80s and 90s was really the pinnacle of the comedian, from Richard Pryor to Eddie Murphy to the famed George Carlin. Without a doubt, one of the most revered and tragic comedians of all time belongs to today's topic, Chris Farley.
I am divorced, and I live in a van down by the river.
For those that might be unaware, Chris Farley is an actor and comedian known for his time on Saturday Night Live in the 90s and his rather quick and explosive stint into Hollywood filmmaking. The comedian was known for his loud, energetic style and his willingness to sell any joke, regardless of shame. His stardom was rapid, as was his downfall, as the actor tragically passed away in 1997 at the age of 33 years old.
Sadly, after a long battle with addiction, in 1997, at the age of 33, Chris died of a drug overdose.
Farley lived a fast and furious life, with majority of his life dealing with addiction to various drugs and food. His inspiration came from his idol, SNL icon John Belushi, who also passed from a lethal combination of drug abuse. Growing up, Chris Farley was somewhat of an inspiration to me. Despite being overweight, he owned the room with his ability to make anyone smile and his balance of self-loathing with a heartwarming genuineness. For a majority of my life, I dealt with weight issues, much like Farley, and he became someone to look to. Without a doubt, his death was devastating to those that knew him and loved him, with over 500 people attending his funeral.
Then I was very sad. Then just straight up... lots of things you wish didn't happen, you know?
It took months to go, okay, I can talk about this. It just, too much. It comes up in something in my mind every day.
I liked having it in my life. It was better. Made my life better being a friend of mine.
In Farley's prime, he starred in numerous comedies, none of which were exactly Academy Award worthy. To me, the pinnacle of his entertainment prowess came in a little film called Tommy Boy. The 1995 comedy film is the topic of today's Lost and Found, so buckle up as I break down why this film is a cult comedy classic. Before getting into this review, the exclusive Steelbook Collector Edition for Tommy Boy was provided by Paramount Home Entertainment. This is not a paid promotion and will of course feature my own critical opinion. If you like the video, be sure to like and subscribe. Tommy Boy is an American road trip comedy. The film follows Chris Farley in the lead role as Tommy Callahan III, a socially and emotionally immature man who is thrusted into a position to save his family company after the tragic passing of his father. Despite being one of the top comedians on SNL and featuring Farley's close friend, comedian David Spade, the film was a relative failure for the studio. The film earned $32 million on a budget of $20 million, but did see massive success on home video. It had been years since I saw Tommy Boy. I had feared, like many childhood films you grow up with, that the film wouldn't be the same. Perhaps Farley's comedic style would be dated, the film wouldn't be funny, or I simply had a poor taste back then. While the film isn't comedically genius, it certainly holds up after 25 years.
True, but you can't latch the hood too well if you don't take the can out, you no-selling waste of space.
A lot of this is due to the buddy relationship between Spade and Farley. The constant banter is reminiscent of two brothers. Farley fills the film with iconic scenes, including his sales pitch,
Cliff! And your family screaming, "Oh my God, we're burning alive!"
the fat guy in the little coat,
That guy in a little coat.
Don't.
and the diner scene.
Right here. Not here or here so much, but right here.
While Farley is known for his energetic and sometimes rather loud yelling,
And I am a former motivational speaker. Give me that!
some of his best jokes just come from his subtle, genuine sense of being.
It's a clip, Bob. Are you sure?
He feels like that dumb teddy bear you just can't help but smile at. Perhaps the most surprising part of the film to me was the emotional element that didn't factor much to me in my early years. The Callahan family owns an extensive auto part plant known as Callahan Auto. The plant is run by Tommy's father, Big Tom Callahan. In his brief time in the film, Big Tom really exudes confidence and charisma despite having a close link to Tommy's aloofness. The two, despite Tommy being a knucklehead, have a true bond together. This relationship really feels real, and I think this is in part to Farley's deep relationship with his own father, Thomas Farley. Without a doubt, it's easy to see that emotional connection, and you quickly bond to those two's relationship, despite the limited screen time. Once again, I'd never claim Farley to be a great actor, but he does have some rather high quality acting scenes throughout the film, and I really think it's due to that connection with his father. The biggest knocks I can give is really just some of the humor not quite landing. A lot of Farley's humor is based on physical displays of comedy. For instance, the fat guy in a little coat is really based off the glowing charisma of Farley and his massive size. It works. Some of the physical humor, primarily in the film's villain, Paul, played by Rob Lowe, doesn't really work. The best way to describe it is any Adam Sandler film made in the last 10 years.
Oh my God!
Destroy my pool.
I want some milk.
Oh, sure, Angel. Come here. I'll give you a little something.
It's corny and certainly played up for a child to laugh at. In fact, a lot of this film really feels like what Sandler tries to imitate as of recent, but Farley's talents elevate the material. It also helps the film's emotional current running throughout is certainly more interesting than anything Sandler has made in a long time. Another knock really just comes with the lack of personal investment in Tommy's romantic relationship with Michelle. It just didn't have the oomph that is there with his father, and in my opinion, doesn't really add a lot to the film's narrative. The 25th anniversary steelbook is a nice pickup for any fan of this film or comedy in general. The Blu-ray disc includes the Holy Shnikey edition, which was actually released in 2008. The film is presented in a 1080p transfer, and despite showing its age, looks quite good. The transfer quality is solid enough to warrant the purchase of Blu-ray and certainly stands above DVD quality. The audio is a 5.1 Dolby True HD soundtrack, and it's plenty fine. The steelbook itself is a collector's item worth sitting on any Blu-ray shelf. The Blu-ray also comes with a load of special features, the most important being the commentary with the film's director, Peter Segal. Without a doubt, you can tell Segal not only enjoyed making the film, but watching it as well. The only knock on the extras is they did not receive an HD transfer, so everything is a 480p quality. You do get a gag reel, which I'm always a sucker for. Tommy Boy is a cult comedy classic, really for the dynamic lead performance from Chris Farley. His talent and charm always beams off the screen, and you can't help but feel emotionally wounded seeing it. Like the tragic passing of Heath Ledger, you watch every performance seeing the immense amount of talent. His relationship with Spade throughout the film is great due to the two's chemistry, but for me, the real sell is the relationship with his father. The 25th anniversary exclusive steelbook can be pre-ordered on FYE for $17.99, and I fully recommend it. Thanks Tots for watching. Big thanks to Paramount for sending out this copy, so be sure to give a like in this video for more reviews. Also, big thanks to my Patreon supporters. I will see you Tots on the next video. Bye bye!